Welcome to part 5 of our tutorial here. In this part, we're going to get our enemies to spawn, and we're going to have more than one enemy. So we're going to be back to our map here in Godot. No, we did have an enemy from the last time. That was just to test to see if it was moving properly. So we're just going to delete that, and yes, we want to delete the node. So that's good. Now for our map, we're going to add a couple things. I want to add in a area. Area is area 2D, right like that. This is going to be our spawn area where the enemies spawn. So I'm going to name it spawn area like that. Now an area needs a collision shape 2D. So I'm going to add that in here. And for this shape, I'm going to give it a rectangle shape. I'm going to make this a rectangle above the scene here, above the map there. In fact, I'm going to specify it's going to be 600 by 50. And then I'm going to go to the transform. I'm going to set it at 300 by 50. Oopsies. 300 by negative 50. To make sure that it's in the right location and that it's pixel perfect for spawning things, which should be kind of what we want. I'm also going to need to add a new timer here. So I'm going to select map and then timer like that. I'm going to add it as a child of map here, and I'm going to name it spawn timer, just like that. Great. Let's leave the wait time here at 1 second, so it spawns enemies once every second, and then I'm going to check auto start, so it automatically starts as we go. Let's save our scene. Now we need to add some code, a script to our map here to spawn these enemies. I'm going to go to map here. I'm going to click on the attach script, create, and I get this basic script already started here. Doesn't do anything yet. That's kind of what we want. So the first thing I want to do is I actually want to go and attach the spawn timer to this script. I'm going to click on spawn timer, go to node, and then signals over here by the inspector tab. Double click on the timeout signal. This will mean that when the timer ticks, when it gets back down to that 1 second, it fires off a signal, and our map is listening for that signal. So we've got this on spawn timer timeout, and we've got that set up. You can notice that it's connected here. So whenever you create one of these signals to connect things, you'll need to make sure that it's got that connected icon there. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to add code to our map script here in order to make the enemies spawn. Should have extends node 2D at the top. I'm going to add a couple of variables here. Export var enemy to spawn. So this here is an export variable. And if we go look at the inspector, as we save this, it will actually show, we click on the map here, you can see it gives us a variable here where we can place the enemy that we're going to spawn, and we can link it directly to an enemy scene. Make it nice and easy. We're also going to add in a couple of things here. So we're going to get the size of this spawn area. And what it's going to be is it's going to be $ spawn area. That means we're going to talk to the spawn area node / collision shape 2D dot shape dot extents. Like this. So this is going to get the size of that shape for our spawn area. I used the word onReady because what that'll do is it'll force it to wait until this map is loaded before calculating this, which is good. So it means the spawn area gets created and that shape gets created, and then we try and calculate the extents. If we try and do that first, it might give us grief. I'm going to do another one, onReady var origin. So we create a variable for the origin here, and this is going to be the starting point of the spawn area / collision shape dot global position, and then This allows us to, as I said, wait till the end of the current physics step so that when we add this child or when we add this enemy to the map here, it doesn't force a recalculation of all of the physics stuff. It waits till this current physics step is done, adds an enemy in, and then it can, on the next physics step, deal with all that sort of stuff. That's actually fairly important because if you try and add something in the middle of a physics step, it can take quite a long time to go back and recalculate everything. So we just wait till the end of it. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take that enemy and we're going to add it or move it to the location that we want. There we go. We're going to set the position to be that vector 2, x, and y, which we calculated up here with our random stuff. I'm actually going to move that line up because it's typically better to set the position before you add it to the scene there. And if I save this here, what I need to do is I now need to go to the map here. Make sure your map root node is selected. Then drag your enemy.tscene from your file system all the way over to the enemy.tospawn here. Just like that. Click drag it in there, and you can see it shows up there. And let's give it a try. What I should say, I should see that once a second, my enemies spawn from the top here. And see they fly happily down the screen. Yay, exciting. So that's what we've got here. And this is all for part 5 of our tutorial. In the next part, we're going to clean up the enemies because right now we're spawning them infinitely. And we kind of want them to not spawn or to despawn when they leave the screen here. Have a great day.